Well, we're back at Cabot Circus once again, this time to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. With Brian T taking over as Shredder, or Oroku Saki, as his official name is, with Stephen Amell of Green Arrow fame coming in as Casey Jones. Interested to see how he does, considering CM Punk wanted to be Casey Jones as well, but that's another story. We've seen from the trailers Krang, Bebop, and Rocksteady, but Sheamus, former WWE Undisputed Champion, as Rocksteady. We'll just see how that one will pan out. Anyway, in 100 minutes, we'll find out if this will be a shell of a good hit. I like it. Step up. Well, you're now watching the spoiler review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, as I prefer to call it. Not to be confused with the 1991 movie. Let's just get down into story. Now, in the spoiler-free review, I said that the story is pretty decent. I've had a little time just to sort of let things sink in. There are some things where arguments are dropped, where the brothers are arguing, saying, there's no honor in, lying to your brothers, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, we got to go to Brazil. It felt like there's something missing from, or that there was something that was cut out. So I don't think it hurt the movie too much, but I felt like a couple of better sequencing, or just simply dropping certain scenes would have solved that problem. I just felt like it needed a bit of fine editing on that one. But there was much more time spent with the brothers this time, as opposed to the introduction movie in 2014, where more time is spent on Megan Fox's character. And here she's still a pivotal character, but she's not the sole focus. They spend more time on the brothers trying to stay as a cohesive unit, which it kind of echoes what they did with the 2007 CG movie, where a whole portion of that movie is just focusing on the brothers trying to re-gel as a team after they've spent so much time apart, where Leonardo is training to be a better leader. Ralph is just, let's just call it for what it is. He's being Batman in that movie as the Night Watcher. Mikey is a party entertainer, and Donnie is in tech support, which is actually kind of fitting, considering he is a technological genius and expert. Megan Fox really surprised me with this movie. She was not Oscar worthy by any stretch, but you look at what the performance that she gave in this movie, it's like, you actually tried with this. You actually gave a performance where I could say, I liked it. Now let's get to Stephen Amell as Casey Jones. Now, I will say he turned in a decent performance, but I'm not sure where Casey Jones was ever a cop. He had a sweet Dodge Challenger, though. I did like that. I thought that was good, but I felt if you removed his character from the story, I don't think it would have changed too much. Brian T coming in as the Shredder, replacing the previous actor, I felt Brian T came in and did a decent job. Just a straight ahead, get on with it, no nonsense. And it's actually refreshing to see him in a no nonsense role compared to what he did in the Wolverine, where his character was kind of tertiary and a bit of a joke, considering he was just set up to take a full from Wolverine, literally just falling into a swimming pool out of the window. It's like, how did you know there was a swimming pool there? I didn't. That's a different subject. All the Turtles stayed in character. And it was definitely echoing the 1987 series. And this movie has so much fan service. Brad Garrett, who you may recognize as the voice of Greasepit from Biker Mice from Mars, lends his voice to Krang. He was also the voice of Lobo from Superman the Animated Series and the Justice League. I felt he turned in a solid vocal performance. It's little things with the fan service where April's infrared holograph watch shoots up an image of Donatello's cartoon image from the 80s series, which I got a huge kick out of that. The turtle truck with the horn going da 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 da, just like be still. Let's talk Sheamus. oh boy. Him and I think I've actually got the name of Gary Anthony Williams, who also played Bebop. These guys, these characters were so in character. They're just a complete pair of dumbasses that just got mutated into their respective mutant forms. It's just so weird when you see the end credit and by Rocksteady it just says Sheamus. Visual effects. The Turtles are not as tall and muscular compared to the introduction movie in 2014. I think fans felt there was too much of a separation from April's height to their height from the previous movie. So I think they've shrunk them down a little, but not to a degree where it doesn't hurt the movie in any way. With the score, at times I felt there was a bit of a Transformers vibe, particularly when you see the Technodrome assembling itself piece by piece coming from, I'm presuming, Dimension X. It just reminded me of certain scenes like when Optimus Prime shows up for the first time in Transformers in front of Megan and Sam. You just hear this very grandiose score, and the similar thing is happening here. But then again, it's a Michael Bay produced movie, so it kind of stands to reason there would be a slight carryover with that. It might be just pure coincidence, but that's just the impression I'm getting. There's not really a great deal I can go into because you lose yourself in this movie. There's so much fan service, including right at the end when you go to the end credits. For the first time ever in any live action, or with the 2007 movie's case, with the CG movie, they actually play the 1980s Ninja Turtles theme. And just hear, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was... As somebody who grew up in the 80s, adoring, particularly when it came over here as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Long story, not going to get into it. Just to hear that carry over into this live action feature, the inner child is very happy. Very, very happy. There's not really a lot I can go into. One thing that you'll see in the spoiler-free review is where I get Random on camera, probably for like the first time in a while, and he says, "We live in a world where a Michael Bay produced Turtles movie is better than a movie that has Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman." It's like, I want to cry. That was just something. Oh dang! I can't really put into words about it, because this movie, it is basically the 1980s animated series come to life in live action form. You know, it's basically the biggest nutshell I can put for it. I've got nothing bad. You know, on a grand scale, I've got nothing bad to say about this movie. Certain scenes could have been edited better. I still give this a must ×5 because this thing just kept going. There was a couple of times where it slowed down in places, but it's actually nice to see a movie where they don't go into too many explanations, they just go. And that's actually very, very refreshing, rather than, you know, a comic book movie that sets up exposition to exposition to exposition to exposition to exposition to exposition, where this is like, this is what we gotta do, go. And that's how it should be. I got nothing else to say. I think the way that the story was handled, where the police force openly accept the Turtles for what they did in protecting the city and saving it from the Technodrome, which at times I felt was trying. It was like, I felt like at times they were like saying, "This is our Death Star. You know, the Technodrome is our Death Star. It's a Death Star." But yeah. A must ×5. If you're in the UK, seriously, go watch this movie. I think this will be the movie of the year. And for all of my subscribers who are in the United States, you've only got till June 3. You've only got till June 3 to wait for this bad boy to come out. And if you grew up loving the 1980 series, heck, if you grew up loving the 2003 and the current series, we don't like to talk about Next Mutations. As far as we're concerned, that never happened. No. Or just be like, you know, Random with his Star Wars prequels. But there are no prequels. There is no Next Mutation. But yeah, seriously, if you grew up loving any form of the Turtles, whether it was the 80s series or the movies from the early to mid-90s, you are going to love this. It's everything that you've seen from the Turtles and more. So until then, folks, this is MJ Knight signing off from the season finale of Season 6 of Real Features. I'll see you in Season 7. Random has something to say. Random, tell the good people what you saw.
I live in a world where a Michael Bay produced Turtles movie is better than a movie featuring Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman. I'm going to kill myself.
You heard it here first.